Welcome to Be Well Live's Friday session, or Fun Friday, we'll call it. I'm going to be giving you a quick little demonstration and recipe for a fun fall treat, a nice dessert. So you're going to need some apples for this one. This is quite traditional dish, often served around Thanksgiving. I know it's probably one of my favorites, and it's apple crisp or apple crumble. Depending on how you prepare it and I guess how well you bake it and how much of the ingredients you're using. So we'll go with apple crisp. I think that's the traditional historical name for it. So yeah, here we go. So apple crisp, it suits the theme outside, apple picking and pumpkins and all that stuff, right? All that cheesy stuff. So what you're gonna need here is I'm gonna list off the ingredients for you and how to prepare it. I actually have made it already and my house smells amazing. So no need for candles or air fresheners once you've got this in the oven. About halfway through, the whole house is just intoxicating in that manner. So what you're gonna need is ideally, I guess in this case, Honeycrisp apples. Granny Smith, I know obviously there's like a ton of different types of apples, and you could use them. That's not going to really drastically affect the end result. But it is recommended from most of the recipes I've compared to mine is to use Honeycrisp or Granny Smith apples. Just the sweetness level kind of matches what we're going for here. So I have some pretty big guys here. I'm saying 4 to 6 apples, depending on how many servings you want. Mine's gonna be, 4 servings, or we'll see how hungry I am, but I've got 4 large apples, or you can go 6 small to medium, okay? All right, so obviously you're gonna need those. And what you're gonna wanna do is you actually are gonna wanna peel them. I know it's a little extra step. It's a bit more tedious, but leaving the skin on will affect the texture and the consistency of the end result once you've baked it and when you're kind of eating it. So go ahead and rinse your apples off. Use a nice peeler, and you're gonna take off the skin. Once you've done that, and again, I've already prepared this, so I'm just kind of going through the motions here. You're gonna make sure that when you peel them, you don't leave it sitting out for too long, because remember, the second the apple is exposed to the air, they start to go brown really quickly, right? So you're looking to slice them up, kind of nice traditional, if you can see that, sorry, the light is, anyway, apple slices here, okay? Nothing fancy. So you're gonna cut those up, and obviously leave the core out. So when you're cutting it, you're just gonna cut around all 4 sides so that when you're left with the core, you don't need this. Okay, so you're not gonna use that in there, all right? Perfect. So once you've cut up all your apple, and you have, let's say, 4 apples worth of slices, you're gonna add all those slices into a bowl. And again, I've done this already. I'm just kind of showing you for the steps, because again, this is a really easy version of apple crisp. There's obviously more complex ones and maybe healthier ones, by the way. But this one's kind of happy medium. It's not too healthy, but also some good comfort level food here. So you're gonna put all your apple slices in a mixing bowl. And what you're gonna do is you are going to take some lemon juice, either one of these, it's like $1, or a fresh lemon, even cheaper. Doesn't really matter. If you want to speed up the process and less of a mess, you can use this or the real thing. And you're gonna do about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. When I'm usually baking, I'm usually kind of just guessing. So I'm just gonna throw a bunch in there, but if you really wanted to take your time, you wanna measure that out, okay? So lemon juice, and by the way, the lemon juice really helps prevent the process of the oxidation, so like the browning of the fruit. So that will help, and it helps with the baking and the flavor, okay? So that's the lemon juice, and then what you're gonna do next is you're gonna add, if you can, it's optional, I know it can be pricey, is vanilla extract. Okay, obviously if you're doing other baking, you're gonna have some vanilla. I've got the artificial vanilla. I know, I'm sorry for all our hardcore bakers out there. But one of these tiny little guys for the pure vanilla extract is like $15 or something like that. So for this purpose, I'm using this one, which was a third of the price. Okay? And again, don't go crazy with vanilla. Be very conservative with the vanilla, and you're gonna do about, what did I say here? Half a teaspoon, not tablespoon, but teaspoon. And you're just gonna kind of mix that in with the apple slices and the lemon that you have. And that's it. So that's it for the apple. All the slices are mixing in with the lemon juice and the vanilla, and you're gonna kind of mix all the apple slices together. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your baking dish or your pan, and then you will pour all of those apple slices into the bowl. And again, I'm just doing a small sample size for the demonstration. Again, you're gonna want anywhere from 4 to 6 small to medium apples. So, okay, so your lemon squeezed and vanilla infused apple slices are here ready to go for your base at the bottom of the baking sheet. Okay, and then the fun part for our Fun Fridays is, for me anyway, is obviously the most enjoyable part of apple crisp or apple crumble is the crumble itself, which is the topping, which is the sweetest part of the whole thing, right? Obviously we're getting some fruit in there that's covered in vanilla and sugar and everything, but this is for Fun Friday, and we're gonna make it a little on the unhealthier side, but it's still not too bad. Okay, so what you're gonna need for this one is, I'm just gonna skip here so that I can remember. And by the way, at the very beginning of this, I had forgot to mention you want to preheat your oven to 375 Fahrenheit. So while you're preparing all this, it's ready to go, and then you can put that in there and it's all done within an hour. Okay, so let's say I had preheated my oven at 375. You're gonna now combine, and you can use that same bowl if you wanted to. Brown sugar, so I've got dark brown sugar here, or you can do the light brown, or the yellowed sugar, I think they call it. Dark brown sugar, you are gonna do 1 cup, I believe, 1 cup of brown sugar, and you will add that to the bowl. You're also gonna do cinnamon. So cinnamon is obviously really cheap, affordable. Find that in the spice aisle. I usually have it hanging around all the time for coffees and desserts, things like that. Again, you can just kind of sprinkle some cinnamon into the mix with the brown sugar. Anywhere from 1 teaspoon to a tablespoon, it's up to you. Depends how strong you want that to be. Okay. And then finally, which is the crumble part here that's going to mix in with the brown sugar, is your oats. So I've recommended using, you can either do rolled oats or this, which is large flaked oats. This is just your Quaker, cheap stuff, nothing crazy. You don't have to go to some health food store and find these exotic oats. Old-fashioned Quaker large flake oats, okay? Which is a little bit better than the quick oats or instant oats. All right, and then what you're gonna do is, I think I had said that one was about a cup of rolled oats. Yeah, so that's 1 cup of rolled or large flaked oats you're gonna add with the brown sugar. Okay, once you have that all together, you're gonna finish it off with, of course, what else? Butter. Because it's Fun Friday, right? So I use the butter sticks, so you can buy them they're pre-packaged with the sticks, so they're individual, and they're usually about half a cup, as opposed to the one large one, okay? So you want these to be at about room temperature so that when you're mixing it together with the oats, because it can be strenuous, is to either let them kind of sit and not melt, but become a little soft before you put it in there, as opposed to refrigerating the butter, okay? So once you've mixed the brown sugar and the butter and the rolled oats all together, what you'll do is you'll take the baking sheet that you have, and you will now pour that topping all on top of the apples that we've already prepared, okay? And then you're gonna put that bad boy in the oven, because it's already been preheating at 375, about 45 minutes, or depending on how, I guess, how the texture that you prefer. I like it nice and kind of crunchy, and that's just my preference. But if you like it a little softer, maybe a little runnier, then you can maybe not do as long. Okay, So I am going to show you the end result here for Fun Friday apple crisp fall dessert. All right. So here's what I have, and by the way, like I had already mentioned, like the house smells amazing. It's just that kind of fall smell where you're baking, and it's just like, it's really nice. Okay, so here you have it. Here is your apple crisp. So I loaded it with, obviously with the brown sugar, and yeah, it's just, I'm gonna have that for dessert later tonight. Typically, I'd probably recommend for maybe to be a little on the healthier side is to top it off with some low-fat Greek yogurt. And normally I would, but because it's Fun Fridays and we're going to enjoy this, I've got my favorite, which I recommend, French vanilla ice cream to put on top of your apple crisp. That sounds amazing. So I'm going to have that later tonight. And I hope that you can try that. It's like the easy version of apple crisp. There's a ton of recipes out there that require more like flour and stuff like that. So this is no flour, it's just the oats. And I guess the butter and the brown sugar is the sweet part. So enjoy that. I know I will. Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna post the ingredients and the steps for you on our Instagram pages on the Seneca York, King, and Newnham accounts. Just for your reference, so you can go in and take a look at the recipe. Okay. Thanks for joining me on Fun Fridays. Have yourself a nice weekend. Try to get outside and stay active. Okay, guys, be well.